I will apologize if I seem a little. This, you know what this looks like? This looks like Fused.
Mm-hmm.
This looks a lot like Fused.
That tiny little level.
Yeah.
Tiny little level. Very simple. It's
Especially with
where is
the
your opponent? Right there.
Yep.
Thank you. Where you're gonna find interesting play is how the main room kind of opens up a little bit. You have those tiny lips that can be used, and this is definitely going to be a level that's going to favor Mark. But lasers seem to work pretty well here. So smart missiles here with the caliber of opponents that are playing. They are purely for information. You're not going to see a lot of smart missile kills unless it's point blank.
Pretty much. So far, ooh, a lot of action, but no real damage done yet. Wonder if this is by the same author. I'll have to look this up, because, I mean, there's a lot of characteristics that are the same between the two maps.
I believe it was Nirvana, and I believe Fused was also a Nirvana level, yes.
Very cool. Of course, one of my favorite Nirvana levels comes in Descent 3 called Skin Like Winter. Very cool map.
I would say that my favorite Nirvana level, I believe that Nocturnal is a Nirvana level. Definitely one that deserves a bit more play on the ladder. I would encourage its play to the point where it becomes core. Anyway, here we are sitting at 0-0. And surprisingly cautious. Now we got a plasma on plasma.
Oh, there's some damage.
And that's a good rip by Mark.
Well, Mark had to run, though. And Drakona gets the early kill.
So it wasn't counting shields earlier. And spew camping.
That's a thing on a small map.
Yeah,
Especially one that doesn't have anywhere near as many missiles. Look at this.
Yeah, but Mark can work with most anything. Knows where she is and just pins her into the corner.
That looks so much like some of the kills that Drakona had on Cyrus in Ascend. Where Drakona just knew where he was. Very nice. Yeah, Scion's pointing out that Skin Like Winter has been ported to Geocore, and that's one thing about Nirvana. He's not like I forget who did Minerva, but Spaz. Yeah, he's not like Spaz in that regard. He's okay with giving out with people modding his level, using it for something else. It's pretty cool.
It's not to count anything against Spaz. I mean,
not at all. No.
Understanding that the level was built with a particular game engine with particular physics during a particular time, and a lot of personal investment, it's entirely reasonable for a level author to say, you know, this is a different game. Don't port my level into there. No. All the same, the fact that Nirvana was a-okay with allowing his designs to be I don't want to say recycled because it sounds cheap, but
oh, nice.
Enjoyed in a different game.
Drakona showing off her lasers there, getting right into Neo's pyro there. Of course, Neo's Mark392.
Even Mark expressed compliments after that kill. 4 minutes on the clock.
For a small level, this is playing off to be a longer game. Ooh, that hit.
Oh, did that hit?
I was too far away to tell. Kind of on Dracona's tailpipe there.
Just a little game for the people in chat. What animal do you think that this level looks like?
Oh, jeez.
And of course, anybody who says that it looks like a skull, you're not being inventive.
Well, that's why I was going to say it was a skull.
Oh, no. Well, what animal? Be more creative.
I think it kind of looks like a monkey. Cam Clever says it's a mushroom.
Oh!
Ouch!
There it goes. That is 1, 2, 3 shots of fusion in a row, tagging 30-30, and the last one's just gonna be finishing the job.
Pretty much. We have a whole bunch of things in here: a horseshoe crab, jellyfish turtle. I'm sticking with my monkey, though. Nice kill there.
I have to applaud the horseshoe crab. firing a flare just to pick it up. Oh my goodness.
That was
where did
entropy,
that
by the
come
way.
from?
Yeah.
Level one lasers there to finish up the job, but that just kind of shows how close these games go.
Yep.
I would never ever shoot level 1 lasers against Mark unless I just had given up.
Yep. Or you had nothing else and you had to defend yourself.
I
the way
can't
it
defend
goes.
myself against him.
Very loud secret door over there. Oh.
Certainly.
I thought Mark was going to get behind her for a second.
Mark is just killing with the fusion. Drakona has a self-admitted fusion problem. Mothing quite readily. Here comes.
And what happened?
That was a suicide.
That was a
I don't know
suicide,
how
but
that
it did
got
not look.
credited.
Didn't look intentional. I think what might have happened was that she had a missile queued up on her left side and it hit the wall.
I wonder how long it'll take for that second fusion to get pulled out of that reactor area.
Knowing Drakona, I would be surprised if it was Mark that did it. But man, that plasma is just... That really hurts. And Mark is riding that fusion to a 5-2 lead.
It's hard to believe that the scores, only 7 kills have occurred. It feels like it's been about 15 after the action picked up at the beginning there.
Yeah.
Oh, there comes out the fusion, and there is the reason why the fusion didn't get pulled out.
Oh!
Area.
Drakona just mothing right to it. And Mark having a field day with the fusion here.
Well, if it works, keep using it. There goes 11 shields on Mark. And he looks like he's preparing for a suicide.
Not going to get it, though.
He knew that he was low on shields. He knew where he wanted his weapons to be. And Dracona's chasing with the lasers.
Oh, man.
Excellent work. It is very hard to
And look at this.
Drakona. Oh, my goodness. Is she going to get a twofer?
No. Mark did a very good job getting out of there. And picking up the shields from his spew.
It is...
Oh, and gets the return kill with level 1s.
Yikes. Did not expect that. Drakona is very good at pursuit. Once she's decided she's chasing you, it's very hard to shake her. And you gotta say that in that plasma exchange, Drakona on top the entire way. It's back into a game 7-5.
Indeed. And one of the things I've noticed about Mark over the 2 games that he's played is every once in a while he gets into this mode where he hits the button that says GTFO, and there's a kill for Mark with plasma right up in her face. And it seems whenever that happens, it's not good for him. Oh! It runs right over him with fusion.
Brilliant shot by Drakona. She has never been a slouch with firing fusion, but she often discouraged herself from using it because fusion typically breeds fusion on fusion battles.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you got somebody who's looks like they're very much on their fusion game, like Mark is.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like you often don't see players like Mark and Jedi Luke throwing around fusion too often. But I have to say that seeing both of them use it in the last couple days, 2 or 3 days, they're not slouches.
Not at all. There we go.
Plasma fight. It was definitely a battle of attrition there.
Oh,
and
nice!
That's how close it was. A good spawn and a couple of good splash damage from Cox. And this is still a 2-point game, folks.
Drakona hanging in there for sure. And Untitled is one of those lesser played levels, but it's kind of got some nostalgia among some of the gold tier pilots. You do see this game played occasionally in that level.
Definitely not a mainstream level. Definitely a classic.
For sure.
It is undoubtedly a brawler's level. Remember playing several games with AOD high in here, and you may recall from the old Cali era that the people who had poor connections tended to be dogfighters a bit more because they had more immediate information to work with because they had to lead so far ahead.
Drakona running right into those plasma blobs. That'll give Mark an 11-7 lead.
That
Not
being
quite
said,
out of
don't-
hand yet. Oh,
Oh, that was a brilliant strafe by Mark.
indeed. Good exchange for him. Well, that was close. I thought that was going to hit, but I did not hear the clang.
I just got out of a game where I was dodging 6, 7, 8 smart missiles, so
Yes,
didn't mean to win, but I was dodging them.
indeed. Drakona pulls within 3 there. Laser fight. Now, it may look like Drakona has the advantage using the quad 4s, which technically she does, but quad 1s, that's only 3 less damage per laser. Each laser
So
power-up
that's,
only increases each.
So that's only
Individual laser
12
by
less
1.
damage for a square shot.
It's
which,
it's a
when you're
it's a
playing against
big
a
deal,
gold
but
pilot,
yeah,
means, oftentimes you're just getting lancing shots rather than square ones.
but I mean it's significant, but at the same time it's not. If you look at it from Mark's point of view, he's got quad 1s. If he lands a shot,
That's 40 damage.
that's 40 damage. That's a lot of damage.
It is.
Not a lot of
So-
weapons to even do that much damage.
So, for any folks listening in on the competitive level, if you haven't considered it before, you're chasing after your spew. If you got a choice, go for the quad power up before anything else.
Yes. Yeah, quad 4s or quad 1s do 40 total damage. Level 4s without quads only do 26. And at fusion, just that's almost the story of the game here. Is Mark's fusion just completely? Anytime he brings it out, it's since the opening couple minutes has been just brutal. And
So-
again,
And another tag of 30 there, a 30 multiplier, and a square shot to finish her off.
and we have to also point out it's at least 30.
Right.
If you charge it for a second, it will do 60, and it scales between 30 and 60 in that time. And that's just if you get hit by one of the two.
Drakona is making these lasers a mile wide here.
Yes.
And somehow Mark finds space to dodge there.
And get out. Oh,
Not much more space.
and I'll tell you this one. Mark uses the plasma. When he uses the
A homing
plasma,
missile.
it's pretty good. Yeah, homing missile finishes that one. Now 14-8. That puts Mark on a 7-3 run, since this was pretty close not that long ago. Ooh.
Yeah, this level definitely has enough vertical space in it that only the
Boom,
wow.
bitches. One for one as they collide in the corner.
It definitely takes a lot of talent to use the vertical space in this level. For someone like me, I'm looking at this as a two-level, two-story level Doom-esque like Athena or something. But there's quite a bit of vertical space in there if you're clever enough to use it.
Nice.
I think I saw two.
Oh, well, they
maybe
both
two
get
or
a
three
shot
of those
in.
bolts.
That was nearly a square shot if it wasn't. But he returned that fusion. Oh, that homing missile. That's another thing about these angled floors and ceilings is that you can sneak in a homing missile on your opponent, and they won't have time to react to it.
Oh my goodness, that smart missile.
Oh,
Gets a
good enough
and-
to flush her out.
And with these missile scarce levels, oftentimes after getting into a prolonged engagement, I think that Mark is doing a good job of pulsing those secondaries for opportune
Indeed.
moments. And there he gets a second one, just slipping around the corner.
He's definitely... one thing that I'm noticing here is Drakona is flying very straight, playing this like a Doom level, but Mark is not afraid to do all kinds of 6-degree stuff, even in the smaller hallways. And Drakona just doesn't have an answer. Well, I guess there's an answer.
It seemed more like a "there damn it" declaration,
Yeah.
but an answer nonetheless. It's like, "Screw you, we're going to dump tea in the harbor." Response.
Yes.
Here
Nice.
come the lasers, a couple good clangs, but not without a few consequences. And picking up another 11, another 22,
22,
33.
yep. All kinds of
Dracona's
damage.
low. And somehow,
Whoa.
just weaving in between the shots, Mark is able to keep on top of this.
Indeed.
Right around the periphery here.
His fusion has been on. There's another one, and his plasma's been on too. Both of those weapons have been his strong point this game.
Both of those weapons travel at very similar speeds, if I recall correctly. So calibrating one should reasonably translate to
A little bit of damage for
Calibrated,
Drakona
yeah.
there. I don't know if that fusion got her.
getting a lot of plasma in his face.
Indeed.
But it only takes
Throwing
one
him
shot
off
to
his
finish
fusion,
Drakona with the fusion.
And she is doing a good job of not mothing to those shots, but the smart missile from behind brings her
Yeah.
down. It is 19 to 10, just like that.
He charges in, takes 2-3 shots. That's going to be 33 damage. Just tags him and brings it into
Oh,
1911 territory.
Drakona
She
got
can get
caught
one or
on the
two
weapon
more.
switch there.
Oh.
Drakona could have had a nice fusion shot in the face, but she was switching to
May
lasers.
actually see the rare opportunity for Mark to rush here because he wants the game over and he knows that she's damaged.
Maybe. We'll see here. He's still playing it cautiously. And there it is.
There it
And just
goes.
look how after like 8.5 minutes, the game just completely opened up. There's a little bit of a lull when it was like 11 to 8, but after that, Mark just took off and ended that on a nice little run there.
So definitely the key factor here, that Mark's fusion was dialed in. Drakona obliging him by running into it.
Indeed.
Not to diminish Dracona's pursuit of on Mark's Swan, but also the vertical space, as you mentioned. This is 6 degrees of freedom game. Mark is not only using the vertical space in the main room, but also in the outside hallway is tented. And maybe you can zoom in real quick before you leave the observatory.
Oh, I already did.
But the outside edge is not a flat roof; it is
Not at all,
tented,
no.
and Mark was definitely using that. So, props to Mark using all the angles and abusing a strategy that was working, which was fire fusion all day and whistle a tune whilst doing so.
Pretty much. Now, and the next match, of course,